What does transformation healing mean to you? What challenge have you overcome in your life that transform who you are today? Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday. Welcome to our Transformation Healing Podcast. I'm your host, Riya Wang, a certified transformation healing coach. I help my clients to connect through the transformation healing to connect with the true power, transcend the limitation, and bring back confidence, joy, and be the best version of themselves. I have been traveling around the world to learn and share the healing, how that can change our lives. In this podcast show, I interview all of my guests who can help you get some tips and help you to live better in your life. I'm so excited. Today is my guest. I have the special guest, Sandra Lee. Sandra be confident to manifest the life and the professional and the business. Sandra, welcome to Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, to come to here.
Thank you, Ria. You were mostly frozen through all of that, so I'm really not sure what it was you said, but that's okay.
That what is we just talk about this high tech the internet. Sometimes they just frozen all the time, but no matter what it is, we
Yep,
always overcome with that.
we do. I think we're all used to the Zoom freezing by now.
I know before I think once I was interviewed with another guest, then just started like 10, 15 minutes, the internet is shut down. So my Wi-Fi was out. I have to use my phone, come back for 2, 3 minutes. This all happens, but we embrace all of this, right?
We do. I mean, one of the things that you talk about is healing. So it's like this Zenquency of healing. And just the ability to flow with whatever happens is one of the things that I certainly have benefited from with all of the healing I've done over the years. Because before I would have been all messed up. It's like, it's not working right. I was like, you know what? This is just the way life goes, and sometimes you got to flow with it. So
I
that's
just
where we are.
I just love your attitude with the life, how positive you are. So, Sandra, I was introduce you. You are the only one I know, and probably is the only one who's compared together with the human design and the toning fork. Because that was, I got the session from you. That was, I have a lot of aha moment. That I think I want you to introduce a little bit more about that. But before you go into there to introduce about to share with that, tell us where you come from.
Where I come from, meaning location where I come from.
In general, where you are now. I always tell people because the guests from all over the world, sometimes they're from Norway, they're from Ireland. So where you are now in the world.
Okay, where I am in the world is British Columbia, Canada. So I live in eastern British Columbia.
So I hear that you said you grew up in California, right? Like where I live. How come you moved to the DC? Oh no, Canada. It's just a simple, a short version. I know there must be have long stories, but we wanted to be short version and share with us.
Yeah, I grew up in Canada in the Bay Area, and then I went to school in Southern California. And then after, I moved back up to the Bay Area, and then beyond, I moved up to Washington State. And I was in Washington State for a long time. I had a massage practice for 13 years in Washington State, and then I married a Canadian and moved to British Columbia.
Mm, cool. I hear the Canada, how do you say, Canadian? They are most the passion friendly people in the world.
They are very friendly.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. I
And
have to,
Canada's a beautiful place to be.
Yes, definitely. Someday I will become visit you.
You're
So
welcome.
that is a little chat on the side. So now come back to our human design and the toning fork. We talk about the life, not take life too serious, right? It's a healing also, not take the healing. How to say? I don't say not take serious. It's say just be relaxed. Then because that is the whole point of the healing. Sometimes I see some people getting so intense with that, then they will become here say, oh, I did so many things. Or some of my clients will be say, oh, Riya, I did so many healings, this healing, that healing. Why I'm still like this? Something is nothing is work for me. So bring that question to you. Some people did a lot of healing. We know in the world we have so many tools we can use. So how the toning fork compare in together with the human design that different healing for other people?
There's so many different ways to answer that. So, human design provides a chart based on where the planets were at the time you were born. It looks different from an astrology chart. And the way I look at it is I come here and my soul chooses the time to be born when the planets will be where they need to be for me to have the experiences and the lessons I'm coming here for. So, to some extent, there's always going to be more to learn, always more healing to do. So it's like you said, clients ask, I do this healing and that healing. How come these issues are still here? To some extent, I think it's just, it's part of life.
Absolutely. I always say the healing of life is a journey. It's not destination, right? You know you're boring, then you die. But how do you live this period of time? How do
Mm-hmm.
you live with that? It's more count. It's more important. Right?
Yeah. And there are many experiences that I'm just going to say I have had where I don't necessarily like it that I have this experience. And one way that human design has really helped me is to see this experience that I have. Oh, this is actually part of my design. And I'm going to use an example. So, anger. I get angry a lot. Big things, little things. I used to be angry for weeks at a time. And I was really unhappy that whole time. And when I got angry, I used to say, why do I do this? How come I can't just get over it? It was a real problem for me. I used to beat myself up because of this whole anger thing. And when I understood that it's part of my human design chart, it enabled me to become peaceful about it. This aspect of myself that I have judged my whole life, what's wrong with me, I hate this, to, oh, this is something that I'm supposed to have happen. I'm supposed to experience this. And it enables me to take it instead of having a problem about it. It's like, here this is. Is there something I need to do? Like, how do I manage it? Communicate if I need to communicate, and then get over it. So now I recognize that anger is something that I can manage, and it's actually useful.
That
So,
is big
yeah.
topic. I want to share how to manage the anger. I remember one of my friends, he's always be anger. Sometimes he even know, he said, I'm so sorry. I don't know why. I'm just have that anger. I hate it. And I feel guilty about it after that all the time. But I didn't know how to get it out with that. So,
Yeah.
wow, that is a big thing. I think many people have that
Yeah.
issues or have that things they want release.
So these are all things that are in the human design chart. Everything in the human design chart has positive ways of experiencing it and negative ways of experiencing it. So when it comes to the anger, what is the positive reason for anger? If we didn't have anger, nothing would ever change. Something needs to be so big in my experience that it makes me upset. That's like, you know what? I need to do something about that. If we didn't have anger, we would never do that. So nothing would ever get better.
Hmm.
Anger has evolutionary reasons for being. So now, when I get angry, oh, is there something I need to do? Something I need to communicate? What needs to happen so that everybody can be happy? So it's like it pushes me to look at what's going on and then understand it at another level and then take action. And then I can let it go. It's helped me so much having that perspective.
It's kind of like what you said. It's kind of when you're understanding where they come from, it's kind of then you can automatically become watcher. You become observe. We know when we are in the emotions, we try to fight it. When you try to fight it, that emotion that will be getting more voice, right? It can
Yes.
bite you. But when you know that, then you can just watch it. You become observe, then you're not involved with that emotion, then you can see clear, then your mind probably your emotion will be go down. That's you can find a more way out. Is
Yeah.
that what I summarize it?
But one word that I use for that is being able to be responsible for it,
Mm,
right? Be aware, like you said, the observer. This is going on. I was like, why? Is there something for me to do so that I can be responsible for it, take
mhm.
care of it, and then move on?
Hmm. Yeah, so here is another sense is, so when we say that if some people in here listening that, so what another sense can help them to do, like actually to do when you feel that angry at that moment.
Well, so for me, part of it was understanding from the chart
Mm.
that this is something I'm supposed to feel.
Mm.
So it's like a lot of times there are experiences that I have where I judge it. There's something wrong with this.
I see.
What's the matter with me? I see myself as being bad or wrong in some way. Just like the friend you were talking about. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I hate it that this happens. Why do I do this? There's something wrong with me." So
Yeah.
many people have that experience.
Mm.
So it's like whatever it is that triggers you to get to that place of pain, there's something wrong with me, those are places where you have treasure. It's like, oh, there's something for me, a gift here. And when you go and you find it, you find the jewels that enable you to take your power back or to find freedom or to be able to create what you want. It makes so much difference being able to do that.
Of course, the toning fork, the toning that frequency from anger to the peace. I just love on your website. I was saw this toning into your gift. I was wow. So it's just like what you talk about. We have all of this negative. We don't say negative. Maybe we use unpleasant emotions, anger, sad, guilty, planning something. So all of this unpleasant emotion can cause you healthy because that increase your anxiety, your stress, that bring your health down. So what is the big thing? What you just talk about, Sandra, is when you have that emotion come out. So maybe you just not to fight, to accept, say, okay, so this is what I feel. I feel anger. I know, but at this moment, I shouldn't do anything to fight to deal with where the anger come from because I feel anger. Maybe I do drink some water and walk around. For me, I always tell people take 5 to 10 minutes, a long time. You can just meditate. Or if you are not a meditator, maybe you can do something you like. If you like go out to the yard, hug your tree, or doing some flowers, or play some music. Do something that you like it instead of the anger or instead of stay that unpleasant emotions. And also find some professional people like Sandra doing the toning fork, then also doing that human design to understand why and how you are.
All of those things. And let me talk about what I see energetically anytime I have these unpleasant emotions, anytime I'm upset, anytime something is not going the way I want it to, because
Mm,
that's what leads to upset. Upset leads to, comes from unfulfilled expectations.
mm,
Incomplete communication and unfulfilled expectations is what leads to upset. So, what happens to my energy when I am upset, feeling unpleasant emotions, whatever they may be? So, let me talk about how I think of energy in the body. For my body and for me inside my body to work well, the energy needs to flow through. I draw energy up from the earth through my body and out the top of my head. I draw energy down from the sun and from God through my body and all the way through. So it's like there's this nice flow of energy, and that's what helps things to work properly. But if the energy is stuck or blocked or chaotic, it's not flowing.
mm.
So here's the example that I give of that. So it's like I'm walking along and I stub my toe. It's like, ouch, right? So it's like I've bashed my foot into a rock or something like that, and I'm limping. Part of why I'm limping is because it hurts. And part of that experience is that the energy in my foot is chaotic. Instead of flowing through, I ram it into something and it's stuck and it's chaotic. Because that energy is chaotic, it's not flowing anymore and I'm not able to walk smoothly. So it's like that gives people a physical way of relating to what this blocked energy is like.
Mm.
Anytime my muscles are tense and tight, the energy is all stuck here. If I've got a lot of stress and my shoulders and my neck are tight, I have headaches, it's like the energy is all stuck there. By allowing, with the sound of the tuning forks, the energy to flow, it enables people to breathe and relax the tension. And sometimes, just with getting that energy flow, pain will resolve. Different issues may be easier. Thinking is easier because I'm more able to be present. When I am unpleasant thoughts, I am upset, it's like I can't think either.
Yes, when you have all of the emotions, because you cut off into your thoughts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot feel your body. Maybe you feel your body, all of the heat, the anger and stuff like that. But how to transform that, become calm in body, be the present, than to feel better instead of feel not unpresent.
Yeah. So you mentioned, for people when they are in these unpleasant emotions, to stop, breathe, sit and meditate for a little bit, have some water, go hug a tree. All of those experiences, all those things you can do are ways of helping yourself get out of that chaos, out of that upset, and allow your energy to go from stuck
To move
to
your energy,
flowing. Yeah.
right? To from the stuck place, then doing something is not stay there to try to fight, but doing something distracted, then also make the flow to
Mm-hmm.
release that.
Yeah.
That's
And,
that's wonderful.
and that's what creates freedom for people. It's like being able to access that place instead of.
So that's amazing. So how do you compare the human design with Tony Fork together? How do you start with that?
So people come to me. I work a lot with business owners, entrepreneurs, and a lot of times they come not sure about what they want to do,
Hmm.
not sure how to talk about what they want to do. They're confused, they're stuck, there's something that they want to do, and it's not flowing. So, looking at human design helps them see what's really important to them. What's their purpose? What's the center of what they care about and what motivates them? And then when they understand that, their energy starts to flow. Like we were talking about, with the anger. If there are things about my experience where I resist it, the energy is stuck and things aren't going to flow. I'm not going to attract business. I'm not going to attract opportunities. I'm not going to attract opportunities and money. All these things that I want are going to be stuck if I'm in that place of resistance. So understanding their chart, understanding their gifts, helps them be able to start being in that flow. Then we do biofield tuning and help them be in the flow with what their intentions are, help them understand energetically how they live their purpose, how they give their gifts.
Mm. Tell us a little bit about the biotoning, Sandra, because why the toning can help. So we understand the human design because that's your blueprint. You understand who you are, why you feel anger, why you easily to get this cut off with that, because that's all on your chart. But when you understand that chart who you are, then you find that your stuck emotions are stuck somewhere, then you use toning fork and to remove that block, right? But the white toning fork can remove that block.
Let me just talk about sound. So I've been an energy practitioner for various different modalities for 30 years. But I wasn't doing a lot of energy work because I didn't have the experience that when I did energy work that it did anything. I didn't think I was having enough impact. I wasn't having much results or measurable results when I was doing energy work. And then I found biofield tuning. I had worked with tuning forks before, but I really wasn't doing those. Something about biofield tuning is what really works for me. And part of what I learned that influences this is that sound is the most foundational creative force. Sound creates.
Mm, yes.
So, thinking about all the sacred religious texts, they say first there was the word and then there was light. Sound comes first, light comes next.
That we always hear the laming, then the sounds, then the laming coming, right? And also, guess what? When the baby come to the world, start the life, what do they make? The first is the sounds.
Yeah. So I think that is part of why I started having more real results with biofield tuning than with the other healing methods that I was doing.
Mm.
You want to hear the story that I tell a lot?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So the pandemic shutdown had started. So I couldn't do massage with people. They couldn't come here and I couldn't go there. I have a friend who lives just like down the block from me. She lives really close. But she had hurt her hand. She had landed on the vacuum cleaner and it was black and blue and she couldn't open her hand. It
Mm.
was really bad. She couldn't wash the dishes. She couldn't drive the car. Her hand was really messed up. She couldn't come here because of the pandemic. So I called her on the phone and I did biofield tuning with her by phone. And
Wow.
while I was working with her, she was able to open her hand and the bruise went away.
That is amazing.
So, physical change, working with somebody by telephone, doing energy work. That's what showed me. It's like, wow, I'm really doing something that has an impact.
Yes, absolutely. We know the sound from I do a lot of sound healing from online also. Then through the microphone, through the internet, we can deliver that vibration also.
Mm-hmm.
That is a beautiful word, beautiful things you did. I think we all need some people like you to the world that help this world bring better and more naturally healing to us. You know, so we have so many tools we can use from the naturally instead take some pills, doing a lot of different type of things. So I'm not going to there. If I'm going to there, probably take another long run to talk about the subject. So thank you so much, Sandra, to come here to share your wisdom and your skill. And today you shared the big topic, not a big topic. I think everybody can use that tips how to deal with your anger. So thank you. So before you leave, I want to tell us how do they find you? where they can connect with you if they want some work from you.
I have a website, miracleinspirations.com, and Ria's got, that address for you. And if you want to talk with me, then I'm happy to have a chat with you, see what you need, see what is important to you, what you really want, and we can see if working together would be the thing for you. And human design charts, I run them free. So if you go to the website, you can submit your information and I will run a chart for you.
Wow, that's the big gift for everybody. So if you've never done your human design, I'm highly recommend that you go to Sandra's website. You can find Sandra's information under this podcast. If you are here listening us, you already know where to find Sandra. And also later on, we have all of different place to place the Sandra's information. Thank you, Sandra. It's so honored to have you here. So before we close, do you have any last words to tell anybody here?
I like to let people know that you are always living your gifts. You always make a difference. A lot of people don't know how they make a difference. They don't feel like they make a difference. So you are living your gifts 24/7, every day.
That is wonderful. I always tell people is you are unique. You are just who you are. You always have the gift. You have that strength inside you. If you look towards inside, you can bring best yourself. So that is beautiful. Thank you, everybody. I hope looking forward to see you next time. If you have stories, you have wisdom, you want to share with the world, you know where to find me. Oh, before I close this, I have another announcement. Sandra and I, we are designing to doing the workshop together to bring the sounds, to bring the human design, and to bring Tony Fork, also to bring the how to find your missing tone. That's what I was talking about in another chapters. So I'm looking forward to see all of you. Thank you, everybody. I see you next Tuesday.
Thank you.